Conqueror's Haki. It's a power of pure presence and authority, one that is not learned but awakened within a rare few. One of the first times we witness Conqueror's Haki, Shanks aura forms onto Whitebeard's ship, and with each step, crew members faint from mere this is Whitebeard's flagship ship, and this man is walking through the deck and destroying every single person there except Marco and Whitebeard. What the Shanks is him. Soon after, Luffy unwittingly releases it during the war at Marineford, knocking out countless Marines through sheer desperation and intensity of emotion. At face value, an overwhelming presence and invisible aura radiating from the user, subduing weaker spirits. But what exactly is being released here? In essence, Conqueror's Haki is the projection of one's internal frequency, a spiritual pressure born directly from the core of your soul, or the place will itself comes from. Conqueror's Haki asks a fundamental question to existence itself whenever it comes in contact with other wills. Whose will shall prevail? And if you have Conqueror's Haki, your will prevail. But against someone with comparable Conqueror's will, the two will repel each other, not even touching. Keep this in mind for later, as this will explain why you explode when eating devil fruits. Furthermore, like the other types of Haki, Conquerors also displays clear internal and external forms. Your internal ambition knocks out weaker-willed individuals. A more refined, advanced use of Conquerors, however, like during Luffy versus Kaido, their blows do not physically connect. Instead, their wills collide, erupting into visible black lightning that splits the heavens apart. Their sheer determination impacts the world around them. This advanced form of Conquerors allows users to project their soul outward, physically interacting with reality itself. But Conquerors goes deeper than mere domination. To fully grasp its true essence, we must examine its connection to concepts like music, the soul, and even the mysterious nature of devil fruits, to which Brooke is central. At first glance, Brooke might not appear related to Conquerors, but his very existence, the ability to return from death, rests on the manipulation of his own soul. His Yomi Yomi no Mi allows Brooke to interact with and directly channel the spiritual frequency of his being, much like how Conquerors users project their souls externally. Consider Brooke's music, like Soul Parade and New World. They carry his spiritual frequency, directly impacting the souls of listeners. On Fishman Island, Brooke used music to resonate with and inspire others, lifting spirits and strengthening wills. Conversely, he can use chilling melodies to instill despair or fear. His musical techniques represent a nuanced external projection of his spirit, very similar to advanced Conquerors users who project their soul as an overwhelming force. Brooke's soul-driven music demonstrates that Conquerors isn't just a dominating aura. Instead, it's more of a resonance capable of shaping emotional and spiritual states. That's why whenever you eat like a mythical zone, you get affected. Like it's Conqueror's Haki is affecting you. Luffy starts laughing and yapping. I'll get to it in just a bit. Just as Brooke's music can awaken determination or induce deep sleep through his music, Conqueror's Haki can suppress, inspire, or even create shifts in consciousness. This is even more prevalent with Big Mom's Soul Fruit, explicitly granting control over souls. She extracts lifespans, creates homies by infusing lifeless objects with human souls, and shapes entire territories through spiritual dominance. On the surface, this appears solely a devil fruit power, but viewed through the Balls Deep Haki theory, it becomes clear that her power parallels Conquerors, biggest evidence being life or treat, which causes targets with weak resolve to lose their souls or lifespan. Overwhelmed by her spiritual dominance, it's not simply fear, but the literal conquest of their will. Just as Conqueror's Haki knocks unconscious those too weak to stand against spiritual pressure, Big Mom's power directly conquers their souls, extracting their soul, which is the thing that generates people's wills. That's why people turn older. Similar to Gear 5 Luffy running out of Haki and turning into an old man until his soul can beat again. That's why Jinbei, strengthened by his ambition to join Luffy's crew, wasn't affected by this attack. These connections align aligning even better with the throat chakra or Vishuddha and crown chakra or Sahasrara. The Vishuddha governs expression, communication, and sound like Brooke. He externalizes his soul's resonance as music, touching listeners at a fundamental spiritual level. Like, even I'm touched by Bink's sake. Meanwhile, Sahasrara represents transcendence, universal consciousness, and spiritual authority, the core of Conquerors. Big Mom's soul manipulation, the homies, and Brooke's ethereal existence all exemplify the Sahasrara. Willpower, it's so strong that it reshapes reality, overpowering weaker spiritual frequencies. That's how they manipulate the souls and the homies and shit, bruh. Is that how, like, Big Mom ate Mother Caramel and then her will was stronger on the soul, like her soul overtook the fruit's will? Oh my god, I just cooked chat.
This motherfucker don't miss.
Furthermore though, let's move on to the strongest Conquerors clash, Roger versus Whitebeard in chapter 966. Their tips don't even touch, yet their wills ripple outward, splitting skies and seas. What's happening here? Well, their Conqueror's Haki, their purest spiritual frequency, is projecting outward so strongly that physical reality bends. Kaido's Thunder Bagua or Luffy's Red Rock similarly blend physical blows with spiritual dominance, manifesting Conquerors as physical reality shaping strikes. Because how the fuck is Luffy creating fire through sheer will underwater against Hody's Jones? In One Piece, every character carries a will, but only a rare few possess souls capable of bending reality itself through sheer presence. Conquerors is this potential fully realized, okay? This is the soul's expression of supreme authority over reality. That's why the new form of Haki, which we have been calling God Haki, can only be used by Conquerors users against Emu. Everything, rocks, trees, oceans, humans, they all resonate with Haki or Chi. Haki thus can be viewed as a refined conscious manipulation of this universal energy, or rather the body, mind, and soul of reality. The types of Haki correspond neatly to levels of spiritual resonance or vibration. Armament Haki is dense, it's grounded and physical. The lowest frequency, powerful in its solidity. Observation is subtler, more sensitive and empathetic, higher in frequency, less tangible but deeper in its perceptive resonance. Conqueror's Haki, the rarest form, is spiritual dominance or the frequency of kings, one that bends weaker souls and imposes one's will onto the world.